What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the RosterWatch Mock Draft Show. I am Cody Carpentier. You can find me on Twitter at Carpentier NFL. And I'm back again because it's Thursday. It's the last day of August. And you know what that means. Football is just 7 days away. And I couldn't be more happy that this is essentially a week 0 for the NFL, where the NFL gets a week off. We haven't really had any brutal big injuries, so that's awesome. I mean, of course, we had the Jonathan Taylor thing where he's put on PUP for 4 weeks, and we've had Jerry Jeudy and Terry McLaurin and things like this, and Javante's halfway back and all this stuff, but we haven't had big injuries to really nuke any of these drafts. So I think we made it through, at least to the season. I'm happy, I'm excited, and we're here with version 9.5 of the PPR Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet from RosterWatch.com. If you haven't already, go over to RosterWatch.com, get the RosterWatch Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet. Version 9.5 is up for PPR, 9.2 for Superflex, and 5.0 is being uploaded as we speak for standard and half PPR. It's Thursday. I know that there's drafts coming tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's a big weekend for college football. Why not get together with your friends and have a draft? If you're not doing a draft this weekend, why don't you go find 11 of your closest buddies and have a draft? Have a live one, get some wings, watch some football, and draft a roster. And while you're doing it, come to rosterwatch.com. It's only $9.99 a month. You can subscribe and you can get the Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, as well as we just added the sick data from sports, from Dr. David Chow and Sports Injury Central. So you can go check that out as well. RosterWatch.com, $9.99 a month. Best deal you're going to find anywhere on the internet, and you can get the Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet to do that today. So today we're going to walk through some more mocks. This time PPR. If you were looking for standard, we did a standard one on Tuesday on the Roster Watch YouTube channel and on podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, please click that like button, click subscribe to stay tuned and tapped in. I think we're closing on 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're going to continue to grow this thing throughout the season. And if you're on podcast, give us 5 stars on Spotify, because we need a few more of those. We don't have very many. We need to hit that 100 marker on Spotify sooner than later. So click that 5-star, click that 5-star, click that 5-star. Now I'm going to share the screen right now. We'll jump in here using, like I said, version 9.5 of the PPR Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet. Matt Cassie in the chat. What's good, brother? How you doing? All right. Let's go over here. PPR, 12 teams. Let's go ahead and go from the 4 spot. We'll do 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 2 flex, 7 bench, kicker D. We'll go against all of the ADPs, ESPN, NFL, RTS Sports, and Sleeper. And then we'll plug in PPR version 9.5, and we'll start up this bad boy of a draft as it slowly loads. All right, there we go. All right, so now you have to click suggested, put top ranked players in here, click roster. If you're on the mock draft simulator using Fantasy Pros, for those listening at home, we have the 4-hole. The first pick was Jefferson. Second was Chase. Third was Cooper Kupp. And we're sitting here at 4. Cooper Kupp went a little high in this one. So Christian McCaffrey falls just at the 104. You love to see that. We'll go ahead and take him because that's clearly the best available player on the Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet. And then we'll come to round number 2. The last couple picks, Derrick Henry goes 205, Mahomes 206, Garrett Wilson 207, Josh Jacobs 208. And that leaves us with Jalen Waddle here at the top. I don't know why. Okay, that's good. All right, round 3, Chris Olave, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, and then gives us a choice of Devonta Smith or Travis Etienne. And it's no longer a choice. It says to take Devonta Smith. So that gives us our second wide receiver here. All right, we'll come down to round 4. It's DeAndre Hopkins. It's Kenneth Walker. It's Dameon Pierce. 409. We currently have Christian McCaffrey, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith. And we'll take Miles Sanders here in round 4, pick number 9 overall. Going into round 5, the last couple picks into round 5, it was TJ Hawkinson at the 412, Alexander Madison 501, Rashad White 502, J.K. Dobbins 503. So a little bit of a run on running backs right here. We're going to go ahead and pivot and go back to wide receiver and take our third wide receiver by the name of Christian Watson from Green Bay. Round 6 comes around. We missed on our opportunity to get Darren Waller. He goes at 603. Michael Pittman, 605. Mike Evans, 606. And we're up here at the 609 with Javonte Williams as the best available player, according to the Ultimate Draft cheat sheet. So we're going to go ahead and take that running back right there as running back number 3 behind McCaffrey and Miles Sanders, round 7. Kyle Pitts goes at 703 right after Khalil Herbert. And that puts Dallas Goedert on team roster watch here at the 704. That's our tight end number 1. And we now have Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert in this potent Philadelphia offense. At the 807, somebody took San Francisco's defense, Cortland Sutton, 808. So I've helped a couple of buddies over the last 4 days with drafts, home league drafts. And I know this has always been a thing where people draft defenses early. But just reminder, don't do that. Don't draft a defense in the 7th or the 8th round. I've seen this multiple days, the last couple. And a defensive player, like if the defensive player scoring is not on par with the running backs, the upper echelon of the running backs, there's no reason you should be drafting a defensive player earlier than the last 3-4 rounds. You know, if you want to really get a guy, it should be 4 rounds out from the last pick. Maybe get the defensive player. But don't do these things. Don't draft these defenses in round 8. You're literally giving up value. Cortland Sutton's, Michael Thomas's, Zay Flowers. These are real values at this point in fantasy football that people are overlooking in Cortland Sutton, Michael Thomas, and Zay Flowers. I'll say those names again. To take defenses. And I've literally seen this trend not only on Fantasy Pros, but literally in real home league drafts. So don't be that fish that does that. You can still get the Saints defense in the last round. You can still get your kicker in the last round. That suffices. There's Greg Zuerlein still there. Greg Joseph is still there in great offenses. Trust the process. Please do not draft defenses and kickers in the 8th, 9th, 10th round. It's sickening. It's sickening. 809, we're going to take Antonio Gibson as running back number 4, McCaffrey, Sanders, Javonte, and Antonio Gibson, like I said before. And then Michael Thomas falls to us at the 904, just where I want him. He comes to the team. Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Christian Watson, and Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is becoming one of my favorite draft picks in all of fantasy football this year, outside of Roschon and Anthony Richardson. Speaking of which, Roschon Johnson here at the 1009, right after Romeo Dogwater Dobbs. At the 1104, we're going to go ahead and take Kendre Miller. And then at the 1209, 1207 was Rashee Rice, 1208 was Darnell Mooney. And it looks like at the 12-9, we're no longer going to get Anthony Richardson. We're going to get Deshaun Watson. Wow, his ADP is ridiculously. This will happen sometimes when you're doing these sims, but his ADP is 77 on across all the platforms, and it's currently pick 141. So we're going to go ahead and take Watson just because he's a value and he's there, and if it happens, you have to do it. But otherwise, that probably would have been Anthony Richardson. All right, 1304, we already have a tight end, so we're not going to take Kincaid. We'll go ahead and take Tyjae Spears. And then with that last pick, we'll go ahead and get Van Jefferson. Or do we have one more? We have one more pick, so we'll get Tank Dell as well. And then we'll sim the rest of it. And this roster is Deshaun Watson, Christian McCaffrey, Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, Antonio Gibson, Roschon Johnson, Kendre Miller, Tyjae Spears, wide receiver Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, Christian Watson, Michael Thomas, Van Jefferson, and Tank Dell. And tight end is Dallas Goedert. We'll auto draft the defense and a kicker, and they'll give us a score of a 95 out of 100. Another one you love to see. You love to see that. All right, let's go back and let's do another one. If there's anybody in the chat that wants to see a specific draft pick, leave a comment, let me know, and we'll run it from that spot. All right. I'm going to go ahead and re-upload this version 9.5 to make sure I got the right one. It's only take me about a split second. And for those that were not here on the last episode, this is how you do this. If you ever want to create a cheat sheet using the Fantasy Pros tool, you're going to go ahead and let me go make sure I can share my screen here. All right, you're going to go ahead and click Cheat Sheet Creator. You're going to come on over here. You're going to type in Create Cheat Sheet, PPR 9.5. Bang. You're not going to click that button. 2023 season, you're going to do PPR for scoring, keep all the positions in, and then you're going to click your ranking, and then you're going to just paste that list of guys. And then you're going to click next. And then it's going to bring you to the next page. I see guys in the chat. What's up, guys? How we doing? All right, we got a question from Matt Cassidy. I'll pop this one up here. We'll answer that one quick. He says, got late in my keeper. Barkley second round, Olave eighth, full PPR, Roshan, Kendra, and Tank Dell. Oh, baby. Nice work. Nice work. That's a great value on Olave. Barkley, it's fine. And of course, you got Roshan, Kendra, and Tank. You know exactly what you're doing. Jamie, how we doing? Good to see you in the chat again. Kip, one more week, fellas. That's what it is. One more week. Luss is a good late round kicker on Denver. Yeah, I mean, he was just traded, and then there was a report that came out. I think it was literally from his agent that was like, yeah, he won the job. They're just going young, which we see happen before. And it backfires on football teams. It's backfired on a lot of football teams for, we're going to save up 1.5 million just to go after this rookie kicker. And they end up regretting it. Always Roshan. Jake's in the chat. Would you keep Jacobs in the 5th round or Trevor Lawrence in the 13th? I'm assuming this is one quarterback. Jacobs is a value in the 5th. Trevor Lawrence is also a value in the 13th. However, you can just chip it, and like guys like Dak and Kirk and Anthony Richardson are often there in the 12th and 13th round. So I would keep Jacobs because I like that value a little bit better. Is Hunt or Lenny worth a pickup in redraft? I think Lenny is. Hunt, the words I heard were not positive on Hunt as far as he was very out of shape when he was at the Colts and when he was at New Orleans and when he was in Minnesota. And you saw what Minnesota did. So the Colts have went and they added Kenyon Drake between there. The Saints added Darrell Williams, and then they cut Darrell Williams. The Vikings have now cut Dwayne McBride. So that, in fact, would mean they like Dwayne McBride more than Kareem Hunt, but then they cut Dwayne McBride, and then they added Myles Gaskin. So they like Myles Gaskin more than both. So that kind of tells you kind of where Kareem is at. Lenny, I think, may be a money thing. I think Lenny may be just waiting for that opportunity. He's going to be the guy laying in the cut. And like I mentioned at the start of the show, we haven't had a lot of injuries, but if there's an injury coming, Lenny could be that guy that kind of fills in and takes over that spot. Matt Cassidy wants us to go from the 9 hole. Kip wants us to go from the 8. Kip, you've already been in the 8 for every draft you've done. Let's do 9. Half PPR, what we got? Kelsey, Bijan, or Nick Chubb. Who do you like? Half PPR. Let me pull up the half PPR sheet and tell you exactly how we have it laid out at RosterWatch. Let's see if I can get this draft going before, so at least we can get it loaded in. All right, 9.5. Start your draft. All right, so the question was half PPR, Kelsey, Bijan, or Chubb. If you look at the Ultimate Draft cheat sheet, we have Bijan. Nope, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Yeah, we have Bijan and Chubb back to back, and then we have Kelsey a ways down. So we have Bijan just ahead of Chubb. So it's really a pick your poison between Bijan and Chubb for us. I kind of prefer Chubb, but I mean it's hard to go against Bijan. I'm going to draft a lot of Chubb just because the opportunity is there, and I think that he might be this year's new big dog, new Derrick Henry, where he's just nobody's gonna be able to stop him, just as they haven't been able to stop him in the last couple of years. I like them both. I mean, you can't really go wrong, Jake. I would say if you want that bona fide weekly consistency, you go Chubb. If you are in more of a, if it's best ball or something, or you don't have to worry about taking a couple zeros or your rest of your roster is going to be dank, I would take Bijan. Good question. Appreciate you, Franz as well. All right, we're going to draft here from the 9 hole. We're doing PPR here. And the first 8 picks were Jefferson, McCaffrey, Chase. 4, Kupp, Chubb, Eckler. 7, Tyreek Hill, Barkley. We're on the clock right here, and it's giving us CD Lamb. We're going to take CD Lamb right here. Pull up my cheat sheet, make sure I don't have any questions or options, I should say, at the positions. All right, we're at the 204. AJ Brown goes 201. Derrick Henry 202. Devontae Adams 203. At the 204, it says Tony Pollard or Amon-Ra St. Brown. That is an option. They're giving us an option between Tony Pollard and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I don't like to have this double Dallas thing unless it's like best ball. Because in seasonal, I just don't like to have that many elite talents in the same offense. It feels it doesn't have to be said. It feels a lot more unrealistic that both guys could hit. I would rather bet against one of them and bet 4-1. I also like the stack of Lamb and St. Brown at wide receiver. It's kind of a ridiculous stack that you don't usually get much of. So here at the 309, we get ETN 306, T. Higgins 307, Calvin Ridley 308, Hurts goes 305, and then we're going to go ahead and get Josh Allen at the 309. Interesting. I haven't gotten a lot of him because he hasn't fallen to us. But we're going to get him here at the 309. Lamar Jackson goes 312, Deebo Samuel 401, Joe Burrow 402. We're at the 404 right here with Amari Cooper. Gave us our wide receiver 3 with 1 quarterback. Round 5, Rachaad White falls. Go ahead and bring him. Right after Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor goes 508 here. It's taken a little bit of time for their ADPs to catch up here on Fantasy Pros, but ADP brings Jonathan Taylor down to 508. Looks like his best and worst ADP is best 17, worst 168. So he's really falling out of a lot of drafts, but we'll see. I think it's an interesting one to see. I've had him go. He went 6-1 in last night's draft I did with a buddy, which was PPR. He went. I watched him go like 10-02 in a bigger stakes league. I don't know where I really want to pay for Jonathan Taylor at this certain point. I think once you get into that round 8 area, then it's like, okay, that's enough value where you're not giving up a bigger asset that has much more upside than what a Jonathan Taylor brings. So we're at the 509 here. I'm going to take Rachaad White's top running back on our board. And then at the 604, we're going to go ahead and take the next running back that was on the board before. His name is David Montgomery. He's going to join the squad. So now we have Josh Allen. We have CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Amari Cooper, Rachaad White, David Montgomery at the 709. Javonte Williams falls right after Dallas Goedert, right after Kyle Pitts at the 7-6 and the 708. At the 804, we get the de facto wide receiver 1 from Washington. With Terry McLaurin missing time, Jahan Dotson will step up. Jahan Dotson is sick for those that forget the Penn State days. Go ahead and bring him down for 804. At the 909, Sky Moore falls. His ADP is 125. We're sitting here at 125. He's right here. 910, Jacoby Myers, 911. Pittsburgh defense, 912. Philadelphia defense. Starting around 10, Rashad Penny, Juju Smith-Schuster, Jeff Wilson. And at the 1004, Roshan every single time. Do I have to literally repeat myself every single time? Kendre Miller, 1109. Come on down. You already know what it is. All right, so we already have CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Amari Cooper, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore. That's 5 wide receivers. I'm content with that for now. Rachaad White, David Montgomery, Roshan Johnson, Kendre Miller, 4 running backs. We do have a quarterback, so we're good there. Do we want Kenny Gainwell? I think I'm going to go ahead and take Kenny Gainwell here because we need one more running. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 and 5. And then let's just go with the cheat sheet. Take Allen Lazard here. Wow. Richardson falls to the 1309. We could go completely. Let's go at. That's so tempting. That's so tempting. I don't usually like to go 2 quarterbacks, but round 13, pick 9. I'm just going to do it. He's there. We love him on the cheat sheet. We'll do it anyways. We need a tight end here at one of these points. We have 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, so we could use another running back on the bench. So let's take Ty Chandler. Take our tight end and Hayden Hurst, and then we'll auto draft the rest of this bad boy out. And 94. Look at this team here. Josh Allen at quarterback with Anthony Richardson as backup. Rachaad White, David Montgomery, Javonte Williams, Roshan Johnson, Kendre Miller, and Ty Chandler. Wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Jahan Dotson, Sky Moore, Allen Lazard, and tight end is Hayden mother effing Hurst. I love Hayden Hurst. Joe Pisapia gives us a 97. What do you guys think in the chat about this squad here? 8 and 9 are close. I still can get some good intel if you have drafts coming up for similar spots. Do you like to diversify or just roll with it? It depends how many leagues you're in. I would diversify if I'm in, it depends how many drafts. I don't roll with a ton of redraft leagues right now. I've brought my number down. My number was literally in the 60s. I brought it down to about the mid 20s. So at that point, I'm really just targeting players that I like instead of diversifying and drafting guys that I don't love, if that makes sense, Kip. Appreciate the question. All right, we'll run one more draft here. Make sure you guys click that like button, click subscribe on YouTube. We're closing in on 2K if you haven't already. Make sure you click that one. Yes, shows you a Josh Allen draft can still be very sick. I mean, we literally, 94 plus we got A-Rich as the backup. Like, I don't usually like taking that second quarterback, but as far as the roster goes in totality, like, I don't know. I just feel so good about getting Kendra and Roshan in Itty setting. So it's hard for me to not love that roster. Let's go from the turn here. It's one of my favorite spots. 1 quarterback, 2 running back, 2 receiver, 1 tight end, and 2 flex. We use the ESPN NFL RTS and Sleeper. 9.5 version 9.5 of the PPR Ultimate Draft cheat sheet at RosterWatch.com. Make sure you go over there today. Like I said before, it's $9.99 a month. That's it. And we have the 6 scores from Dr. David Chow now available on RosterWatch.com. Make sure you go check it out. Ultimate Draft cheat sheet. If you're drafting this weekend, if you're not drafting this weekend, go make some friends and have a draft. Watch some football. Go to somebody's garage. Turn the football games on. Put up a table and just start drafting. You can literally just go over to Sleeper. You can go to MFL, wherever, ESPN, and just do a draft. Do it, and come on, just go embarrass your friends. Get the Ultimate Draft cheat sheet, just go win. It's that easy. I don't really have to sell it on you. It's fantasy football. It's fake football, but it's fun football. Every damn day you get to watch and pay attention to something every damn weekend. All right, go to top ranked players, and we'll go ahead at the turn pick right here. Barkley goes 9. Tony Pollard went 8. Tyreek Hill went 10. Stephon Diggs 11. We'll go ahead and take Chubb and Lamb. And that'll be the start. Nick Chubb and CeeDee Lamb at the 112 and the 201. At the 312, Devonta Smith falls to us. I love that. And at the 401, Dameon Pierce is just standing here saying, are you going to draft me one of these days or not? And I'm saying, man, I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. And we're going to do it anyway because we need a running back. Dameon Pierce, he's a menace. He's a dog. He was top 5 in the dog rating all time over the last 3 seasons. I love it. I just don't love the Houston offense. That's it. But he's going to get that work. We need to respect it. David Montgomery, come on down, and we'll get our tight end and Darren Waller. So we start out Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce, David Montgomery at running back, CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith at wide receiver, and Darren Waller at tight end, a.k.a. wide receiver. All right, 7-12 here. Khalil Herbert. And I think we got to go receiver here. We'll go Jordan Addison. Round number 9 at the turn here. Tyler Algier goes 9-11. Rashad Penny 9-10. Jeff Wilson 9-8. Jerick McKinnon 9-07. Puke, and puke for all of those guys. We're at the 9-12. We're going to go ahead and take Elijah Moore and Zay Flowers, loading up on these wide receivers because we have 4 running backs already on the roster. And then at the 12, at the 11-12 and the 12-1 turn, Roshan and Kendre fall. Take them again every time. All right, we're at the 13 now. The 13-12. Anthony Richardson. This draft is disgusting. Everybody we want, we're getting. I got Darren Waller. I got Lamb. I got Richardson. I got Chubb. I got Zay. I got Elijah. I got Roshan. I got Kendre. Are we missing literally anybody that we want? No, I think we got everybody. All right. Last pick, we'll go ahead and take Ty Chandler for that running back depth. Always take running back depth late. I've had a couple people say, oh, if I just follow along, it'll just tell me to get receiver. Yeah, but you have to understand roster construction. When you get to a certain point and you feel good about the number of receivers you have, so when you have CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Jordan Addison, Elijah Moore, Zay Flowers, I feel good about them 5 guys. I only have 2 wide receiver holes to fill. Then I go and add these running backs like the Roshans, the Kendres, the Tys, the Tank Bigsbys, the Evan Holes, the guys like this that are rookies and young and in opportunities that can propel themselves in the first 6 weeks so you don't have to spend all your damn fab. It's that easy. Auto draft the rest of this draft. 94 is not high enough. Should be a 99 for this one. Anthony Richardson at quarterback. Nick Chubb, Dameon Pierce, David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson, Kendra Miller, Ty Chandler. That's 7 running backs. CeeDee Lamb, Devonta Smith, Jordan Addison, Elijah Moore, Zay Flowers at wide receiver. And the tight end is Darren freaking Waller. Andrew Erickson gives us a 97. Our boy Pat Fitzmaurice, I almost said that wrong, gives us a 96. Appreciate you, Pat. Big fan. He knows that. Just saw him down there at the expo. He is the man. All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tapping into the RosterWatch Mock Draft Show. I am Cody Carpentier. And remember, you got drafts this weekend. Tune in, tap in to SiriusXM Channel 87. We'll be live 3 to 5 Eastern time. Byron, Trashman, myself will be live this weekend. We maybe get Alex on Sunday. We'll see. He's going to be out there hunting tomorrow, getting himself an axis deer in Texas. But again, beat it like a dead horse. If you're drafting this weekend, rosterwatch.com, Ultimate Draft Cheat Sheet, $9.99 a month. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, tapping in. We'll be back next week. We'll be back this weekend, SiriusXM Channel 87. Until next time, I'm Cody Carpentier. Deuces.